Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Just A Lancashire Bloke.
So Darren, why start another channel when you've already got PompaRides?
I've set this channel up separate from PompaRides to talk about other stuff that I get on with, not related to motorbike stuff. I've got other interests, other stuff that I do, might be all boring to you lot, but I'm going to document a few of them things and also talk about other things that have been going on which don't really sit on PompaRides. So I thought I'd do a separate channel.
And for episode 1, what made you choose something this personal?
So the first thing we're going to talk about is something that's quite personal to me, and I think it's a good way to start this channel off, of being honest and upfront and personal.
Then let's go right back. Where does this story actually begin?
Let's start at the very beginning. So I was born in November 1970, and when I was born, the person that gave birth to me, when I got to about 6 weeks old, she decided that it just wasn't for her. And you know, she was only 17 and things like that happen, and some people can handle it and some people can't. And she decided it wasn't right, so she left me with her parents, which were my grandparents. But you'll never hear him refer to me. I'll never refer to them as my grandparents. You'll never hear me say that, because they weren't. They were my mum and dad.
You call them mum and dad, not grandparents. Why is that distinction so important?
A parent is somebody who looks after you, puts clothes on your back, puts food in your belly, wipes your tears when you're crying, and gives you a bollocking when you need a bollocking. And they did that. And they also instill in you, hopefully, the right things and the moral compass to lead on in life. So they were there, and that was my mum and dad. And I never had any cause to want any different. And I had a wonderful childhood. And I'm not one of them who like, oh, I had a horrible childhood. No, I had a great childhood. And I didn't have a close relationship to the person who gave birth to me. She was still in my life. I knew who she was. There was nothing hidden. She just wasn't a mum. My mum was my mum, and my dad was my dad.
So who is Darren?
Just to get this straight, for anybody who doesn't know, born in 1970, I was married in 89. I've got 4 kids who are all grown up, and I've got 6 grandkids. And all this time, I've never known who my...
Do words like real dad or biological father feel awkward when you already had a dad?
This is dodgy wording, and I never know what to use here, because I don't like the real father, real dad. I know who my real dad were. My real dad were Thomas Aslam, right? He was my dad. As for the genetic side of it, where my genetics come from, I never got an answer to that question of who that was. And it never really bothered me, to be honest, and I just sort of got on with it.
So what changed? Why look into it after all those years?
But then now we're in, the 21st century, and I'd seen an advert for Ancestry DNA, and I thought, do you know what? Let's do it. It was like 35 quid, I think I paid at the time. And the kit came, and you spit in a little tube, and you sent it off, and then waited weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then I finally got the results through. Now, it was a standing joke between my missus and everything that I was a bit of a Heinz 57, not knowing that half of where my genetics had come from, and it was always going to be potluck of where are you from and everything. Well, I can say without any question now, I've got the results, and what I'll do is I'll try and share some of that on the screen without giving too much away, because I don't want to upset anybody else.
Can you show us what the results actually looked like?
All my ancestry is either northwest England, or there's some Irish in there, and there's a faint bit of Scandinavian, a tiny bit, but it's predominantly all around the northwest of England area. And the furthest I managed to get back was to around the 1500s, from Cumbria. So traced back quite a few generations going back, and that's with piecing it together, because how it works is when you go on Ancestry, it'll link you then through DNA to other people, so then if their tree's open you can see their tree, and presuming their tree's been done correctly you can then link back because you've got genetic DNA links to those people as well.
And this is where it stops being general ancestry and becomes personal, isn't it?
Now, interestingly, there was a whole 50% of me that I didn't know anything about, and that 50%, I've managed to narrow it down. So I got links, and you can look at the results on, you get your parental side and you get your maternal side. So I obviously knew about the maternal side. It was the paternal side I didn't know about. So when I was getting hits on the paternal side, there was obviously from that thing there.
Did any of the DNA matches point close enough to start asking questions?
Now, I actually did get a close match with a half cousin, and I messaged them and explained the story and see if they were interested, and luckily for me they got back, and it transpires there was also another one which was a close DNA link, and she was a cousin once removed, so she was one higher up the chain.
So how far have you managed to narrow it down?
I've narrowed it down to, I know who my paternal grandparents were. Still no name for a father because it could be anywhere, and again paternal grandmother, that's a bit of a missing link. But going back even further, looking down that line, I can link with them as well. Narrowing it down to an individual is a bit of a tougher statement, but we've managed to think we've narrowed it down to a single person who was my paternal grandfather. He had a child somewhere along the lines that was my paternal genetic father, biological. And he also had another child who's a half uncle, and it was his daughter that I got in touch with.
Did finding this out change anything for you?
Something I never ever thought. Did it answer any burning questions inside my soul? Not really. It was just an interesting thing to know. So yeah, anybody else out there who's in a similar sort of situation of, hey, why not give it a go? What have you got to lose, right? And it might just fill in some of them blanks that are in your head. And if you're a bit like me, you might have been not really bothered who it were. So yeah, we've done the DNA bit, and yeah, that's where we're at.
Why did this feel like the right first story for the channel?
So I thought I'd do my first ever one of explaining how I did that, and then I'll possibly now go and do a bit of screen share and show the results of what it looks like when you log in. So like I say, it's dead easy. You order the kit comes, you spit in a tube, you send it off, you wait weeks, you get an email back saying here's your results. You go and have a look at your results, and it gives you, if you pay extra, you get like what traits you may have, but it also shows your geographical journey from your family. Like I said, mine's all predominantly up in the northwest, so yes, I can still be a proud Lancastrian. I'm proud of it. Okay, so that's it. That's my first ever one. Yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching, and please give me a like and a subscribe, because I've got about 5 subscribers on this channel, and then hopefully we can expand on it a bit more. Leave some comments, ask questions, something you're not sure about.
And where does the channel go after this?
I think the next time we do one, I'm going to talk about my weight loss, because that's been a big part of my life over the last 12 months now. So yeah, we'll do a separate video explaining about my weight loss, and again, if anybody got any questions on that, that'd be cool as well. So, toodle pip, tatty bye, TTFN. We'll see you again.